Now I have flared the screen. Please confirm me whether the screen is clear. And the ACCA SBL Strategic Business Leader is written on the screen. Now you can see the timer, the 60 seconds timer. In this, you can just manage your stationery, keep your pens and registers along with you, keep your noting stuff with you. All right, friends. See, students, my name is Mohammed Saad Altaf, and I will be facilitating you for the ACCA SBL course in the upcoming exams. Most likely, the students prepare quarterly for the exam, so it is expected that the students will be appearing in December 2020 exams. But because there are some constraints, there are some contingencies in our lives, and we are not 100% sure sometimes that whether I be able to make it for December or for March, or sometimes the attempt is supposed to be given after 6 months, but the preparation begins earlier, so that at the end moment in the last months you are free to practice and query your problems with your teacher and get your preparation done like a couple of months before the exams. This helps these students only, and this is for the sake of students only, that they try to keep these stuff so well prepared earlier. What about this time period? Like we have about today is around, we can roughly estimate that the one third of September is now left. Tomorrow will be 20th of September. So starting from now, moving forward, and moving forward towards um, October, and then November, and December first we got the exams. Uh, uh, so how must we see this, and how must we approach this? Perhaps the best way to approach it is make sure that we need to ensure that we are 100% sure about making a genuine 100% effort for our exams. No ifs and buts. If, for example, any contingency, any ifs and buts materializes, then only we'll discuss with our teacher, and we will, for example, postpone or replan our attempt. But with me, with Muhammad Saldaf, I'll assure you that how to make SBL pass in inshallah the very first attempt. We know, Alhamdulillah, how to make it a very practical, very conceptual, and at the same time very concise as well. A smart study approach. I won't ask you to learn and cram the entire book. I won't ask you to learn and cram and even understand loads of theories. Rather, I'll focus on the concise, targeted stuff that is being examined. That is basically more than enough to pass the boundary line, that is 50. So, what do I need from you people? Now, what do you see over here? Over here, you can see that there are some connections. If I plot my ACCA exam spread, if I plot the students' ACCA exam script, I would plot it in this way, because ACCA SBL is all about connectivity. Your answers getting connected with the exhibits. Your answers should be well aligned with the exhibits. They should be well aligned with the professional skills that are tested for 20 marks in ACCA SBL. So what I want, what I see, and what I expect is that you as a student will give 100% of your efforts, and in return, and in return, I'll guide you to the best of my expertise, and we'll try to bring things as simple as possible. One more thing that I would like to add. One more thing. People often ask about what is different in ACCA SBL exam. I mentioned that it is a 4-hour exam. It's a different exam altogether, in a way that this is a complete long story. If you can see the past papers, the papers that were being examined on the written pattern, and then the same style questions were then and now, and they will continue to be tested on CBE format, that is computer based exam format. So when we see such questions, when we see such stuff, uh, we see one thing, that the greatest pressure, the most difficult topic, the most crucial factor for clearing SBL, for passing SBL, is not any topic, is not something from leadership, is not something from governance, is not something from organizational control, finance, innovation, change management, writing, um, write, writing the memos, writing the letters, writing the speeches, writing the press statement. No, 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 no. Rather, the most, or perhaps the biggest barrier to the success of SBL was and will be the time management. That is the 4 hours to complete the exams. So when we have 4 hours to complete the exams, and roughly an average student's minimum takes 1 hour to read the entire case, and that too in exam conditions, when you're not even sure what you have read on the previous page, and you're moving up forward to the next one. You have got superficial trust on yourselves. So this orientation is all about talking. What we'll study in SBL, that's in my course. What topics will we go, what topics will be tested in what details, and how difficult is a particular topic, how should this be covered, how should that be covered, that will be covered separately. But today is basically a two-way conversation, where I want you to speak, to talk, to discuss that how do you see this paper, how do you want to attempt this paper, what queries do you have about this paper, right? So it's a 4-hour exam, and the fact that it is a 4-hour exam makes it definitely very difficult, very difficult. So the greatest challenge is 4-hour exams. Moving on. There are total 8 areas in SBL: leadership, governance, strategy, risk, technology, organization control, finance, innovation. And you can see that from the right hand side of the screen is professional skills are getting into all these 8 topics. Can we see that? Yes. If you can see, that the professional skills are being poured into these 8 areas, then no single question requirement, then no topic. We can't expect any topic to be properly attempted in exams unless and until, I repeat, unless and until the professional skills are properly answered. Let me make it very simple for you. When we talk about SBL, the 80 marks are technical marks. See, these are the 5 skills. Just to give you a note of it, you can take the screenshot for your reference. You'll get such stuff everywhere in my course. No need to worry about that. When we see that the emphasis is on professional skills, the 20 marks is the way. See, what you talk is important. What you say is important. What you write is important. No, no discredit to these things. That what you are saying, the content of your script, the content of your topic, the content that you will be including, you'll be writing, you'll be typing in the exams is important. I agree. But the way you present it, but the way you write it, the way you draft it, the way you give it a particular tone to that, that actually wins 20 marks. So for example, if anyone says that okay, okay, the way is only 20 marks, I can prepare the topic well. I can prepare the topic well so that I can score from the 80% of the marks. And I can score well. How can you score well, brother? I can score well because I'll ignore professional skills, or I'll give it a very like residual time to it. If I can get them, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll skip them. So, brother, the problem is when you say that you want to score 80 marks, the door to it is professional skills marks. So without 20 marks, you cannot just enter into the 80 marks. So apparently they are 20. But in order to get to the 80 marks, you need to come from this road. This road will lead to the destiny. So the road leading to the destiny is as important as the destiny. Yes. We need to ensure that. We need to make sure that we have got amazing skills over professional skills given by the ACCA SBL curriculum. And these are the 5 skills. I've got separate lectures on it. And usually when I mark copies, when the students submit their copies, by copies, I mean the PDF files for marking. These are the 5 things which are often referred back in the feedback that do watch my videos again, because you'll have to watch them again and again and again, and you'll have to come live in the sessions that will be planned on before the exams, where we try to serve the students like it depends on the number of students, it depends on the queries. For example, if the students are comfortable over WhatsApp and they want individual queries, so I give them individual time, no worries. And if they want, I call them together on a Zoom class and everybody can come and share their queries. And what happens, that what I do is, if for example A asks a particular query and I think that B will be coming to this point at the end of the preparation time, so what I do, I put such a query as a general question for everyone and share with the rest. That's what I intend to do for this session. This is basically knowledge pooling, and this knowledge pooling will eventually help the students, right? So 20 marks is about style. 20 marks is about how you approach it, how you see it, the lens you use to write your answer. But 80 marks will be for the technical things that are being set up in the exams. So we can see that they are just 20 out of 100, but you cannot approach the rest of the 80 marks without it. This is a particular slide from my lectures of communication, commercial acumen, analysis, skepticism, and evaluation that you will study in greater detail with a full-time course. SBL is a practical exam. The best thing is, if you are working somewhere, if you got some working experience, or you are good at visualizations, you can think well, you can visualize well, you know more about the corporate world, or when I teach, you follow the footsteps and keep things in your imagination that yes, go this way, go that way, go that way, go this way. So, and you're able to conceptualize that, you're able to visualize it in your minds. Then remember, SBL is the exam for you. So what about me, sir? I've never been to any corporate world. I've never been to any company's premises. I've never been into any role in any company. I'm just a full-time student. Remember this, the lectures provide enough inside depth about certain matters that basically help you mm, to at least be enough be enough in terms of knowledge and in terms of visualizations in your minds, that you can foresee what the examining team is actually asking behind this scenario. For example, sometimes they bring up a case that there is a railway system company, and it is definitely a public company, and the company is performing bad, and the newspapers are making headlines that ABC Rail Company will go off the rails. So a basic sense of business would give you this insight that when the company is in difficult times and the news are coming in the market, then it means that the employees will be worried about their jobs. Are you getting it? The suppliers will be worried about their clearance of payments. The customers would be worried about the continued supply of the product. Everyone will be like, oh, ye main kahan phas gaya? Where have been lost? So this happens. But it happens for those who keep their own mindset, and they deliberately do not follow what they are being told. So the best way to deal with it is excuse me. The best way to deal with it is you will demonstrate professionalism as you will see in the 5 skills, right? Now, can anyone explain me this point? Any one of you? Claudia, Syed Haider Ali, Urusa Chobria. Can anyone just explain me this point? If your analysis is poor, you may not uncover technical issues.
Repeat the question again.
Yes, it is written over here that if your analysis is poor, you may not uncover technical issues. It says that. So, what does it employ? What does it imply? What is hidden in this message? That if your analysis is poor, you may not uncover technical issues that I've shown with the help of a visual as well. So, how do you see this? It's just a basic thing.
Okay, I don't know.
Ah, just give it a try. Perhaps
Yeah.
it's something about going into details. For example, if
Well,
if
I would think that for my analysis to be thorough, I would have to have read the case study like to understand it. So therefore, my analysis can only be poor, and hence I won't be able to apply probably the correct
yeah,
model.
that's perfectly targeted reply. That's perfect. When your analysis skills is poor, when you are not able to analyze anything from the case, or the appropriate number of or required number of things from the case, your answer would lack in details that are expected by the examining team. Your answer
Okay.
would lack in details, in the number of details, would lack in number of details that are expected by, that are actually looked forwarded by the examining team, and therefore for such technical issues which are not identified, the students would lose marks. So as a facilitator of SBL, as perhaps the first tutor of SBL, um, who was like uh, from day one and before even the launch of SBL, Years before that, I was involved in its preparation. I would, as one of the most senior teacher of SBL, I must say that, remember, this is what I want to, this is what I want to inculcate in your minds, in your systems, and how you see the case study, right? Not just case study along with the exhibits, because the exhibits are the requirement, because the exhibits are the details of the case, and the requirements are what is being expected from us. Moreover, you can see that there are, the diagram says this, that even big things require some small things to move on. Is it like this? Some some huge things depend. For example, there's a huge, big flying jet, but it needs tires to take off, right? Same. If you've got BMW, you need some basic basic things to make the entire huge, such a big car correctly and properly running on the roads. In the same manner, remember that you need to have technical knowledge as well as ability to analyze from the case. That will make things better. Okay, moving on. This means that you need to do hard work plus smart work. There are two things: hard work plus smart work, and they both work together. Matlab, you can't skip any of this. ठीक है? मुश्किल, all easy, हाँ मुश्किल है. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Okay. One announcement, please. Please note that if you have not attempted your ethics and professional skills module, it is recommended that you get it done first. But that's not mandatory. That's not something without which you wouldn't be able to pass SBL exam, or this is something, there's something which is not like a condition. Rather, we can say that it is it is recommended. That's it. Moving on. Ah, ha, ha, ha. When you're typing your answers, remember that one simple rule: one mark, 1 point. The key point is highlighted in the red. For example, when you see here, the key point is highlighted here, and you will be given marks for quoting this. But you need sometimes so many words to explain what you mean by these red words. You're not supposed to use red in the exams. I'm just giving you the hint that how you should go about it. Are you getting it, beta? Okay. Remember that not all answers will be same. That's something very important. You need to have this in mind. Not all the answers will be same. Rather, you will have unique answers to go about. ठीक है? Clear है सबको? Now I'll come to my previous slide. I'll discuss these major reasons for failure in SBL. The reason for failure and the reason for success are actually same, because things that make you fail, if considered well, if worked upon well, will give us success. That's very simple. If there are things, for example, there's an issue with people that they are not very steadfast in their dealings, or they are not upfront in their dealings. So this is a factor which is a problematic factor and that needs to be addressed. So I think keeping and making a list of items and things that can randomly be shared later on with them would be good. First thing, major reason for SBL success and failure. See, you'll have to play different roles. A moment back, you will be asked to play the role of CFO. And right after that, you will be asked to play the role of, for example, you might be asked to play the role of non-executive director. Sometimes you'll be asked to play the role of chief fire officer, sometimes internal audit manager, head. So this tells the story that a different role makes it difficult for the students to switch their hats in the exam. They need to have this ability that they can switch into any profile required by the company. Number two, professional skills. Special attention is being paid to this, and the professional skills, the 5 professional skills are very, very important. Number three, too much to cover. What people do, they tend to cover much areas. Okay, we'll look at your notes, we'll look at PP, we'll look at Kaplan, we'll go for some other reading material, some free notes from Open Tuition and that and this and that. If you want to do anything, go to the ACC website and get it done. But remember, if you run out of time and you have more to cover, then remember the emotional damage and the confidence damage would be far greater than this. Right? Okay. Okay. Finally, drafting. Alarming factor. People study, people take the courses, they join the sessions, but what they don't do, they do not practice and get their answers marked and get their answers checked actually. So when the teacher's review is absent on your script, then the areas that are basically problematic areas or your gray areas will never come in light. So when they will remain shaded, they will keep on causing problems. They will keep on causing problems. Am I clear? So in summary, I can say that SBL is a 100-mark exam, 20 professional skills, 80 technical marks, and we can see that and we know that these 20 marks are the door to 80 technical marks. Finally, it's a one big case study. All requirements, whether 5, whether 4, whether 3, all the requirements will be linked with the case study. That's something which makes sense. It's a 4-hour long session. Practice, speed, submission of your practice files to Sir MS. That's very, very important. The last slide of the session. Remember, SBL requires patience, like a toddler. Your first script wouldn't be so good when you will submit your first script. It wouldn't be so good that I would say, wow, That's something very usual. But there are some exceptional students who have never failed to amaze me when their answers are actually received. So it happens that sometimes a toddler is a grown up smart man. And the other thing is smart work. When you're writing for the first time such long answers, there will be some mistakes. There will some people not have the stuff. So for that reason, you need to have patience. So guys, anything else? I would like to mention the you can take the screenshot. You can contact me on 923453525352. My email address is sbl with msa at the rate gmail.com. Thank you for joining us today. For any details, discussions, or queries, you can contact me. You can contact the admin. I wish you all the best. Hope to see you regularly in our sessions, and I hope that this course will serve you to the best of your needs and takes out the best out of your potential. May Allah bless us all with success. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.